The Beginner's Guide to Astrology.
The house meetings.
I'm starting this series to kind of teach you as I'm learning. Nothing I'm going to say is going to confuse you because I am only going over the basics.
Astrology is kind of like an onion.
There's layers to astrology.
Oh, you both have layers. Oh. You know, not everybody like onions.
As soon as you learn something, you realize there's another layer to it. It's very intellectual.
Are you intelligent now?
Affirmative. That means yes.
If you're a beginner, the houses could get super complicated. So it's better to start off simple. So I don't want any astrologers coming for me being like, this bitch doesn't know what she's talking about. You need to crawl before you can walk. You know what I'm saying?
Wax on, wax off.
So this is a picture of my natal birth chart that I got off of astro.com. It kind of looks like a pie graph and it's divided into 12 parts. And each section is a different house. Your first house deals with the self, your self-development, how you view yourself.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal. People know me.
And even more important, how the world views you.
She is one of the dumbest girls you will ever meet.
She asked me how to spell orange.
The second house, from what I've been gaining, it's pretty much all to do with money. How you earn it, how you spend it. The third house deals with communication, how you communicate with people.
Robert better not get in my face, because I'll drop that motherfucker.
Now, the fourth house is all about home and family.
What the hell is wrong with you? We're a family!
The fifth house is a couple of different things. Your fun romantic relationships, what you're interested in, your hobbies, your creativity. It's like the fun house, what you like to do, how you like to get creative.
Cooking meth, we're cooking meth, we're gonna make some methamphetamine.
The sixth house is work, health, and service. It may not be your dream job. It may not be like your life path. You know how people say, if you do what you love, you never have to work a day in your life. Yeah, that's not talking about the sixth house. This is like your service, what you're doing for other people, but not necessarily willing to do.
Can I get some extra salt?
We're all out.
Could you check?
No.
And your seventh house is your relationships.
Hold up.
Your fifth house dealt with romance. So then when I heard that the seventh house is your relationship house, I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, you can't just say all these houses mean the same thing. And I started to second guess this whole thing because I like second guess everything. But upon further investigation, say if 7 was the house of marriage, the fifth house would be your side bitch, who you really want to be with.
Whoa, how dare you? Let me explain.
There are cultures out there that have arranged marriages. That would be their seventh house. And it's not just marriages. This is like your relationship with coworkers, business relationships. If you were married to somebody that you weren't in love with, but you were married to them and you're committed to them. So that's your relationship through thick and thin. But say the fifth house would be like your romantic relationship, your first loves, your dirty little secrets.
Honey, come on! Game cook, pay-per-view, 20 minutes,
Now,
let's go!
the eighth house is kind of all over the place. So say the second house rules your money. The eighth house can be correlated to other people's money. So incidences in your life that may call for grants or scholarships or sugar daddies.
Would you say you loved him?
I loved him very much.
Or sugar mamas. Your partner's money. But the eighth house also rules sex.
She moaned like a wildebeest.
And the underworld and the occult and everything dark. The ninth house has to do with like you're traveling, you're finding out your meaning, your religion, your religious beliefs, you trying to find like meaning to your life.
The last place I thought I'd find you, a monastery.
I guess you could say I've gone through a rather dramatic transformation.
Now, the 10th house is a very important house. It has to do with your career. Well, I don't want to say it's important because it may not be important for everybody, but it's important for me because I'm a Capricorn and I have a lot of planets in the 10th house. So the 10th house has to do with your career. And it can get confusing because the 6th house says your work and the 10th house career. At first I was like, the fuck, yo? Like there's so many like overlapping things. But no, you have to think of it like this. Your work is like your specific job, your work ethic. Like say you work at a restaurant, how do you work with people? My overall career, for example, is literally to help people. My career is helping people with addictions. Like not only did I go to school for that, not only have I worked as an addiction counselor, but I'm also working like via YouTube to help people because that's my career, that's my life path. That's what's important to me. The 11th house has everything to do with your friends, your community, what community you fit in with, who you surround yourself with.
I'm very aroused.
And finally, the 12th house. This rules like secrets, this rules hidden things, this rules institutions like prisons, hospitals, this rules like the underworld. Say if a lot of people have planets in the 12th house, they may like isolation.
I'm reading, get out of my room.
I know I have some planets in the 12th house and I can be very isolated at times. This house is also a very psychic house. If you have planets in this house, you may be psychic. Some people are more psychic than others, and some people don't realize that they have these abilities until they are told they possess them and they work on them. It's a very intuitive house. You may know more things without being told than others. This also rules your inner strength. Say the first house is the conscious you. The 12th house would be your subconscious.
Are you my conscience?
Yeah. I'm your conscience. We haven't spoken for a while.
Just like each house has a different meaning, each planet has a different meaning, just like the signs. All the signs have different energies. So I'll be making videos on those as well. Thank you for watching. I'm Courtney Days and this is Cosmic Drugs. It's so funny because I created the name Cosmic Drugs before I even got into astrology. It's kind of like fucking fitting. It's crazy.
When I beat the case, outer space, so I'm in your face. Outer space, I got stars to chase.